This is ABC 7 News at noon. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Hello and welcome. I'm Jacqueline Matter in for Scott Dennis today. Thank you for joining us. Topping our news at noon, President Donald Trump laying a wreath today at Arlington National Cemetery and delivering his first Memorial Day address this morning. But he's still defending his close advisor and son-in-law, who's accused of attempting to set up a back-channel communications with Russia. ABC's Megan Hughes has more from Washington.
Present! President Trump laying a wreath at Arlington National Cemetery, the final resting place for many who died in service to the country. A presidential moment as his administration continues to play defense. The investigation into Russia intensifying. The spotlight now on Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner.
Kushner is a unique situation because unlike anybody else who's just staff who you ultimately can fire, he is married to Ivanka Trump, a big asset to this administration.
Kushner is not a target of the investigation, but the administration is responding to allegations he tried to set up a secret communications channel with Russia. This after intelligence agencies concluded Russia tried to meddle in the U.S. election.
It's both normal, in my opinion, and acceptable. Any way that you can communicate with people, particularly organizations that are maybe not particularly friendly to us, is a good thing.
Republican Senator John McCain isn't buying it. Today, in an interview on Australian TV.
I know that some administration officials are saying, well, that's standard procedure. I don't think it's standard procedure prior to the inauguration of a president of the United States by someone who is not in an appointed position.
The ranking member of the House Intelligence Committee says Kushner's security clearance should be questioned.
There ought to be a review of his security clearance to find out whether he was truthful, whether he was candid.
President Trump himself defended Kushner in a statement to the New York Times, saying that he has total confidence in him and that he's doing a great job for the country. Megan Hughes, ABC News, Washington.
Men and women, past, present, and future, marched the streets of downtown Sarasota in the annual Memorial Day Parade to honor those who gave their lives. ABC 7's Jess Dowdrick was at that parade this morning. She joins us live from the Bay Front in Sarasota. Good morning, Jess.
Good afternoon, Jacqueline. The parade ended here at J.D. Hamill Park with a more somber memorial service. You can see behind me things have wrapped up and they're starting to tear down. The theme this year was Celebrate, Honor, and Remember as we recognize the 75th anniversary of the Battle of Midway. This battle is what many veterans call the turning point in World War II. Korean War, World War II, and dozens of other veterans took to the streets of downtown Sarasota to remember the loved ones who couldn't stand next to them today, losing their lives fighting for America's freedom. Crowds gave them a standing ovation. Veterans shook one another's hands and saluted their fellow veterans. Little ones waved their American flags in support. Veterans say they want the community to remember that today isn't about picnics and trips to the beach, but a somber remembrance of those troops who didn't come home.
It's very emotional. I lost a good buddy back in the Air Force, and another buddy of mine is buried at Sarasota National Cemetery. And this day is for them. This day is for all the fallen comrades that I had.
Several streets in downtown Sarasota remain closed until 12:30, and those will reopen at that point in time, including Main Street. Now, coming up tonight at 5, I'll have much more on the parade and the memorial service right here at J.D. Hamill Park. For now, live in Sarasota, Jess Dowdrick, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you so much, Jess. Well, one Suncoast resident who survived one of the deadliest attacks in U.S. history is giving thanks and honoring those he served with throughout the years. 92-year-old retired Navy Captain Robert O'Neill was 16 years old in 1941 during the Japanese sneak attack on Pearl Harbor. He recalls walking to breakfast that morning when the attack occurred. The teenager, fresh out of boot camp, found himself on a rowboat using an oar trying to put out oil fires, and for the next 30 hours he helped to recover casualties and pull survivors from the waters. O'Neill says during the time of the attack he was scared, but his adrenaline kicked in.
Tell you the truth, I wasn't thinking. I wasn't even myself, and it didn't dawn on me what had happening until after it was over. Then I sat down and realized what we had done, because at the time you were running around so mad, so much rather, and doing so many things that you just couldn't think. You weren't thinking for yourself. You were just out there doing what they told you to do.
After the attack, he went on to serve a distinguished career in the Navy for 37 years. A wreath-laying ceremony is planned today at the Arlington National Cemetery to mark the 100th birthday of President John F. Kennedy. The ceremony will be held at his gravesite, and the United States Postal Service also plans to commemorate Kennedy's centennial today with a dedication of a new postage stamp in Brookline, Massachusetts, where the late president was born on this day in 1917. The John F. Kennedy Presidential Library and Museum will also hold a birthday celebration that includes a flyover from the U.S. Navy. Kennedy was 46 when he was assassinated in 1963. Well, certainly lots of events, John, going on across the Suncoast coast this morning.
Yes, indeed there are.
Hot out there.
We're very lucky. You know, we've had many past Memorial Days here on the Suncoast where it's poured rain, so it's kind of nice to have clear skies out there. But on the flip side, we have the heat to deal with.
Yeah, from one extreme to another.
Yeah, kind of. So it's going to be very warm, particularly in inland areas.
Okay.
I think there you'll probably see temperatures in the mid-90s today, so very warm indeed. Heat indexes have to be considered. Casey Key webcam put into motion today shows lots of blue sky out there. It's a very pretty day at the beach. UV indexes will be high, though, because of all that blue sky. Not a lot of filtering going on for the sun's ultraviolet rays. SPF 50 or better sunscreen required. Titan radar not showing much in the way of rainfall, except in the very southern tip of the state. There's a few scattered showers down there, but locally it'll be a dry one. We have some cloud cover back in the western Gulf, but no worries. That is in no way going to bother our weather, at least not directly. Indirectly, it has an effect down the road with better rain chances. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. Daytime high today in the low 90s in many locations, near 90 as you get closer to the coastline. We'll talk about the forecast coming up in a few. Back to you.
All right. Thank you, John. We'll check back in with you shortly. New this afternoon, a teen is arrested in Bradenton after deputies say he stole a chainsaw from a home and then came back to take more. This happened Saturday at a home on the 300th block of 30th Avenue East in Bradenton. Deputies say surveillance video captures the teen first coming to the home and stealing a chainsaw from the front porch. Then 30 minutes later, he comes back and takes a bicycle. He was identified the next day and is being charged with 2 counts of burglary to an occupied dwelling. Developing this afternoon, Coast Guards are frantically searching for a Florida mother who vanished after her husband said they got into a boating accident near the Bahamas. Now the FBI is stepping in to investigate. ABC's Lindsay Janis has that story.
This morning, the FBI investigating the mysterious disappearance of Florida mother Isabella Hellman, who vanished while on a sailing trip with her husband, Louis Bennett. The newlyweds setting off from Cuba the evening of May 14th. But at 1:30 a.m., the Coast Guard getting a distress signal from the couple's boat off the coast of the Bahamas.
The initial report that we had was that the catamaran vessel struck an unknown submerged object and began taking on water.
3 hours later, rescuers spot the overturned boat, discovering Bennett 1,000 yards away in a life raft. But no sign of his wife and the mother of their 9-month-old daughter. Bennett telling authorities he last saw Hellman at about 8 p.m. She was piloting the catamaran, wearing a life vest. He was going below deck to sleep. He says he woke up when the boat hit something.
At that point, Mr. Bennett investigated, looked for his wife, abandoned the vessel into a life raft, and then called for assistance.
The Coast Guard scouring nearly 7,000 square miles of ocean, but calling off the search after 3 days and calling in the FBI.
Many times when people present a story, the Coast Guard and the FBI then will go and look and see, does the story match the reality, the damage to the boat, the timing when it allegedly occurred. They're going to see if that fact pattern can even be corroborated.
Also developing this afternoon, thousands of customers at Chipotle restaurants across the country could be victims of a hacker. The company is investigating a cybersecurity attack. The breach was first acknowledged back in April. Cash registers were infected and captured information stored on the magnetic strip of people's credit cards. The breach could allow hackers to steal credit card information from customers. The company says that breach doesn't affect all of their restaurants, but they are advising anyone who has eaten at Chipotle recently to check their credit card statements for potential fraudulent charges. Well, this is no surprise here, but we Americans love our fast food and drinks, especially around Memorial Day, and it shows on the stock market as well. For some reason, fast food chains like McDonald's, KFC, Taco Bell, and Pizza Hut are at an all-time high around this time of the year. So are beverage companies like Pepsi and Anheuser-Busch, whose shares are up 12% this year. The parent company of Corona also has seen a surge of nearly 20%, and Jack Daniel's maker Brown-Forman is up 15%. And speaking of food, time now to head over to the kitchen where our guest for the day, Chef Michael, joins us from C'est La Vie restaurant in Sarasota. Hi, Chef. What's on the menu today?
Good morning, everybody. Today's famous dishes from France is fresh ratatouille. Ratatouille composed of green, red pepper, onions, eggplant, and zucchini, yellow squash, tomatoes, and we can add just a fish like a red snapper.
All right, thank you so much, Chef Michael. We'll be right back.
Yeah, thank you.
Here's something we bet you didn't know. Nearly half of all cancers can be prevented. That's right, half. Nearly 50%, mostly by making small everyday changes in your diet and controlling your weight, walking more, eating less, and eating foods that help you and your family to seriously reduce the risk of cancer. And of course, by not smoking. Visit the Cancer Prevention Together We Can website and get a free 30-day planner filled with tips, recipes, stats, and more about protecting your family. Go to prevent50.org.
Attention, Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you getting all the benefits you're entitled to? Did you know there may be money available to lower your medical prescription costs? Call Health Markets and we'll tell you if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Jeetsi. It's a new Medicare year. That means more changes and more confusion. The key question is, what can you do now to ensure you get the care you need in the coming year?
Call Health Markets today. You may qualify to save money on prescriptions. We'll help you find plans that may cost less, cover more, and could even lower your prescription costs to increase your savings. We help you find all the benefits you're entitled to, and we do it at no cost.
Make sure you have what you need to get the care that's right for you.
Find out if you qualify to receive extra help with your prescriptions. Call the number on the screen now. Representatives are standing by.
With a top prize of $10 million, the new $10 million world-class cash scratch-off from the Florida Lottery is your ticket to take on the world.
If you get knocked down, stand up again. Rip it up again. Give me one chance, I'm gonna make it. Give me my chance, this is my chance, I'm gonna take it.
The new $10 million world-class cash scratch-off from the Florida Lottery. One of our life-changing scratch-offs offering billions in cash prizes.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
The official Suncoast Storm team at ABC7. We're here for you. Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
Oh, it's steamy out there. 86 degrees already with a dew point value of 73. We are well on the road to hitting that 90-degree mark a little bit later on this afternoon. A lot of sunshine out there, nothing in the way of a rain chance. West wind at 12. That's going to help at the beaches. That's going to help keep our temperature at the beaches probably around 87, 88 degrees. But certainly inland, it's going to be a very, very warm winter. And if you cross over the interstate and you get into areas from, I'd say, Lakewood Ranch east, you are looking at temperatures that'll probably top it out 73, 4, 5 degrees. So, sorry, did I say 70? I wish, right? 90, 3, 4, 5 degrees. So very warm indeed. Heat indexes in inland areas will probably 103, maybe, something like that. So very warm indeed. Along the coastline, we've got 82 Longboat Key, 86 in Venice, 85 in Inglewood, 89 in Northport, 88 in Bradenton, Parrish, Lakewood Ranch coming in at 87, and then close to the 90 mark everywhere east of that. Scanning radar not showing any rainfall around. I mean, even well inland, coming in from the other coast, we don't have any rain showers. We have generally a wind that's northwest today, and that's going to be the case. So any sea breeze is going to be kept really close to the coastline, and our sea breeze is pushed well inland. So all in all, we're not looking at much in the way of rainfall. That combined with the fact that we have a very suppressive high-pressure ridge building all the way across the Florida peninsula. So that's suppressing showers as well. Now, we do have some rain back to the west. In fact, we have some pretty heavy rainfall occurring out here toward the coastline, the Gulf Coast line of Texas, stretching up toward Louisiana Delta region. These showers are in no way going to impact us directly. Indirectly, they'll have an influence. We have a low pressure area back there toward Texas and a frontal boundary that's kind of draped through the deep south, connected to another low that's off the Atlantic coast, which is going to produce some rain showers for New York and points north of that today. And we have another frontal boundary that's located back to the north. These fronts are not making it into Florida. They're basically going to stall out over central Atlantic and produce some unsettled weather for the mid-Atlantic for the next several days into the weekend. But for us, what it will do will be to encourage the high-pressure ridge to kind of be pushed back toward the Atlantic. When that happens, by midweek, we'll start to see a wind that shifts direction. It'll be more out of the southeast. That'll help pump in moisture. It'll help provide a collision zone for our sea breeze front and initiate a chance of a few more showers down the road. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday all have excellent chances of seeing some scattered showers, cooling showers around. So our daytime high temperature will be kept down a little bit by those cooling showers. Plus we'll get rainfall, which we still desperately need, but not today. Sunny and hot today, dry for today, tomorrow. Probably see some showers around on Wednesday. Calmer winds around. The drought indexes reflected in our fire danger index, which tells you how likely it is for a fire to ignite and become out of control, is still high in many of our area counties, particularly Manatee County coming in the very high classification, and then surrounding counties high as well. Sarasota still forecast to be in the low category, but I don't know. We'll see. Northwest wind at 10 knots. That's bringing you a light chop and a very, very nice beach condition with just 2-foot seas. It'll be beautiful out there, but warm along the coastline with a high UV index. Over the next several days, we'll start to factor in better chances of rainfall Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and we'll have daytime high temperatures kind of kept down just a little bit. So stay hydrated, stay cool. Back to you.
All right, thank you, John. And our health news today, drug theft incidents continue to climb at Veterans Affairs hospitals across the country, despite the federal government's efforts to stop them. According to recent data from the Associated Press, there are 108 open criminal investigations. 36 cases alone have been added in the past 8 months. These investigations include opioid and other drug thefts by employees at VA hospitals and offices. The VA is now pledging zero tolerance to the thefts, but fear it's a problem that isn't going away anytime soon. If you're having trouble sleeping at night, experts say try exercising. They say exercise is a great way to beat insomnia. One study shows that physical activity can cut symptoms 25% over a 3-month period. Doctors recommend getting 2.5 hours of aerobic exercise every week, including strength or resistance training. Memorial Day typically kicks off the summer, and with the heat comes ticks, something medical experts say you should be especially careful about. Kim Hutcherson explains.
Researchers fear ticks could become a greater problem this summer due to the unusually warm winter in much of the United States. The bacteria, viruses, and parasites they carry can pass along a host of health problems, including Lyme disease. Here's what to know to keep yourself protected. Ticks can be found in various places, including backyards, under leaves, and on ground cover. Generally, doctors say the bites cannot be felt, but after a day or two, one might sense a mild itching. Common symptoms from a tick-borne sickness include fever, chills, body aches, and loss of appetite. Lyme disease is known for causing a bullseye rash similar to the one seen here. If left untreated, the illness can spread to joints, the heart, and the nervous system. If you're bitten by a tick, the first thing to do is remove it if it's still there. The CDC recommends using fine-tipped tweezers to remove it. Then clean the area with alcohol, then soap and water. Medical experts say there's no need to visit a doctor immediately, only if symptoms appear days or even several weeks later. If you do go to a physician, save the tick if possible to help them identify what they're dealing with. For today's Health Minute, I'm Kim Hutcherson.
Coming up next, Tiger Woods in trouble with the law and a scary water slide accident caught on tape. We'll have that story and more coming up.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC Filter Hotline if you or a loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
Let me introduce you to the ultimate Florida window. Do you feel safer with this or this? You'll be proud too.
Going on now. For every 2 windows you buy, get 1 more free. Call today.
Hi, I'm Joan London with A Place for Mom. Over the years, we've helped thousands of families find senior care, and today's senior living communities have never been better, with amazing amenities like movie theaters, exercise rooms and swimming pools, public cafes, bars and bistros, even pet care services. And nobody understands your options like the advisors at A Place for Mom. These are local expert advisors that will partner with you to find the perfect place and determine the right level of care, whether that's just a helping hand or full-time memory care. Best of all, it's a free service. Call today. A Place for Mom. You know your family, we know senior living. Together, we'll make the right choice.
Call A Place for Mom right now to get our free ebook on financing senior care, as well as a free referral for senior living communities in your area. Call 1-800-290-0352. That's 1-800-290-0352.
ABC 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you weeknights at 5.
Welcome back. 12:23 this Monday. A developing headline this afternoon involving Tiger Woods. The pro golfer has been arrested on DUI charges today. Deputies in Jupiter, Florida allegedly took him into custody overnight around 3 a.m. He was released earlier this morning. There's no word yet on the circumstances surrounding those charges. History was made this weekend at the Indy 500. Takuma Sato became the first Japanese winner of the series, taking the lead in the closing laps. It's the second IndyCar victory for Sato and a bit of a redemption after a crash on the final lap of the 2012 race against Dario Franchitti. And the Baltimore Orioles no longer own the best record in the majors. They now have a 7-game losing streak after dropping 3 straight to the best current team, the Houston Astros. The Orioles fell to Houston last night 8-4. And one of sports' most sacred trophies on the line tonight, the Nashville Predators and Pittsburgh Penguins will battle up for the Stanley Cup. This will be the Predators' first Cup final, and the Penguins are looking to become the first NHL team to win back-to-back titles since the Detroit Red Wings in 1998. That game time on the ice is tonight at 8 o'clock in Pittsburgh. Alex Rodriguez looking to score some points with ABC News viewers. The former Yankees player has signed a deal to become a network contributor. He'll be appearing on Good Morning America, World News Tonight, and Nightline. A-Rod was with the New York Yankees for more than a decade, but was suspended for the 2014 season after admitting to using performance-enhancing drugs. There's no word yet on when he will start or how much he will be paid. Well, let's check into the kitchen now with our our guest chef for the day, Chef Michael from C'est La Vie Restaurant in Sarasota. Hey, Chef.
How you doing? It's good to have you here, Michael. Pleasure to have you here.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
C'est La Vie Restaurant, fantastic, one of my favorite restaurants, and now you've got a new location, not only downtown, but you can enjoy them out in Lakewood Ranch as well. Same great menu, but open for nighttime as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fantastic. And today you're going to cook us a ratatouille, which is a traditional French dish.
French from the southeast of the France, so composed for the red pepper, green pepper, and yellow pepper, onions with some garlics. Zucchini, yellow squash, eggplant, fresh tomatoes. We cook in olive oil.
Oh, beautiful.
And
well, let's get to it. Show us how to make it.
Yes, come on. So we have to prep all the vegetables. You cook separately, and after you finish to add everything you can add. So
to use a hot pan for this?
Yeah,
sort of
hot
thing? Really
pan,
hot,
yeah,
right?
with
Okay.
only olive oil, salt, and pepper. And after, when you cook, you can add some fresh, like from today with the red snapper fillet, and you can like southeast of France like to heat this one with just a fillet, barbecue, fresh fish, and
Oh, it sounds delicious. So as this is cooking, what are we doing in this pan?
Yeah, this pan we're just cooking eggplant here, and here we're going to cook zucchini.
Okay.
And yellow squash together. We cook separately, and after we add together, and
yeah, there you go. Now we
yeah,
gotta,
here we go.
Now we got to cook
There,
it hot.
it's come. So yes, we are the C'est La Vie restaurant in downtown, and C'est La Vie in UTC, and the third one is Lolita Tartine.
Oh yes,
just
in downtown Sarasota as well, right around the corner
few
from the
blocks over.
fire department.
Yeah.
There, they have some great food cooking
And
there.
there's the same menu, and we are just starting the savor menu starting on
Savor Sarasota.
this-
We're all waiting for that.
This,
That's great.
this Thursday.
Great.
Yes,
You'll be a
Thursday.
participant in that.
Yeah,
Awesome. So
absolutely.
That's a month long, isn't it?
Yes.
It's wonderful. Wonderful.
Yeah, for lunch and
dishes.
dinner. So for lunch and dinner, and savor menu, and we got all the restaurant with the fresh bakery you can see over here, and the fresh pastry. And with for the savor menu, you can taste a different kind of new meat, fish and meat, and you got a new pastry from a new eclair from Eugenie.
Your
It's a new-
breads look
yeah.
absolutely fantastic there. Do you cook on premises, bake on premises? Everything done?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So after these are cooked down a little bit, you have some red peppers there?
Yeah, red
as
pepper
well?
you put together. Oops, you put a little. That's fine. So you can put some red onions, garlics.
And the idea here is would this be a main dish, or would this be an accompaniment, or it depends on what you do, right? If you add a
In the
protein
south-
to it.
Yes, southeast, you can hit the ratatouille like a main dishes, only this one. But it's better if you can add some fillet of fish. You can eat some meat like lamb. It's good. And you have the wine, the Chardonnay Sauvignon, the white wine.
Very nice. Nothing quite like French wines. Do you have a good variety of wines to
Yeah.
select from?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it takes.
And I see. Do we have a final product of this already prepared?
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. This looks absolutely beautiful.
Just smells good.
I know this would probably take, if you were doing it in real time, how long to actually cook down?
About 25 minutes.
About 25 minutes, something
Yeah.
like this. Well, obviously we don't have that kind of time on television, but we'll pretend that it is already cooked down.
Yeah, sure.
And what would the final product look like? We have about 30 seconds left. Look at that. Do you finish it off in the oven, or is it all done on the stovetop? All done on the stovetop?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, look how beautiful that looks. Well, while you plate this up, I'll remind everybody that the recipe is on our website, mysuncoast.com.
Absolutely.
Click on the dining link page. It'll take you right there with the instructions and all the video instructions as well from Chef Michael. C'est La Vie Restaurant in downtown Sarasota, as well as in Lakewood Ranch, UTC, and a secondary restaurant named right across from the fire station.
Exactly.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Michael. Appreciate you being here.
Thank you so much.
We'll be right back. That looks awesome.
SRQ Performance Parts provides parts and accessories from over 300 manufacturers, so you can get that new manifold, carburetor, gasket, bolt kit, or nitrous oxide system fast. We'll help you beat the competition. Call or visit SRQ Performance Parts online today for all your high-performance parts and advice.
This is an important medical announcement. Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to uncontrollable bleeding and even death. If you've been prescribed one of these drugs and have experienced these dangerous side effects, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that Pradaxa can cause more heart attacks than warfarin, and other countries have already issued safety warnings against this drug. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. The call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to Pradaxa victims, and thousands of Xarelto victims are filing their legal cases. Call the Drug Watch hotline if you or a loved one used Xarelto or Pradaxa and experienced uncontrollable bleeding, brain hemorrhage, or even death. You must call now.
Call 800-793-6055. 800-793-6055.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
Are you a soccer mom or dad? Regardless of their age or experience level, when your kids play soccer or any other sport, there's one person on the sideline who is key to help recognize and seek medical care for sports-related concussion. It's you. You need to know the signs and symptoms of concussion, and you need to act if you think your child has been injured. Remember, when in doubt, sit them out. To learn more, go to cdc.gov/concussion. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004.
Stay connected to your clients and new customers using ABC7 Digital Media Services. Our team of professionals provide a wide array of digital services to help you get the most out of your website. We specialize in building and helping you maintain the most effective digital solutions for your business. It's vital that your online presence stands out, so our experts will equip you with the best resources available. Trust ABC7 Digital Media Services to give you the right tools to grow your business.
I'm Alan Cohn. Siesta Key on MTV. The show follows elite college students spending their summer on the sands, but what do locals think about being in the limelight?
Tonight on ABC7 News at 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
For the last decade, S&S Motorsports of Sarasota has built custom high-performance vehicles for demanding clients worldwide. They're now bringing their 50-plus years of combined build expertise to the parts business. SRQ Performance Parts is your one-stop shop for all your performance parts and accessories.
Live from our studios on Florida's Suncoast, this is ABC7 News at noon. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Welcome back, 12:33 on this Monday. Topping our half hour, several veterans organizations joined hundreds this morning to honor our fallen heroes in Venice. The annual Memorial Day ceremony took place this morning at Patriots Park in Venice. It was hosted by the Veterans of Foreign Wars Post 8118. The memorial started with a laying of wreath ceremony, followed by speeches from Venice Mayor John Hollick and a performance by the Suncoast Wind Ensemble. The MC of the ceremonies wanted to make sure that those who attended knew the difference between Memorial Day and Veterans Day.
What we want to do is make sure that all people recognize this is a different than Veterans Day. Where Veterans Day we salute all veterans. Memorial Day, as it says, there's nothing happy about Memorial Day. It's just the enthusiasm and faith that have taken the men and women into harm's way, and they have lost their lives. And the ladies' auxiliary.
The park was created by the Leadership Sarasota County class in 2002 to pay tribute to those who died on 9/11 and other Americans who have made the sacrifice in the name of freedom over the years. Also this past weekend, ceremonies took place at the Sarasota Memorial for Fallen Heroes. Among those honored was 24-year-old U.S. Army Captain Christopher Brockway. He gave the ultimate sacrifice for his country in July of 2011. His mother was there to make sure that sacrifice will never be forgotten.
He was actually in the Air Force first, tried civilian life and said it wasn't working, so he wanted to be in the military. He wanted to serve his country, and he was proud to do so.
At least 15,000 soldiers are buried at the Sarasota National Cemetery. Also happening today, the Sarasota Concert Band will be hosting their annual Memorial Day concert at Philippi Estate Park, just south of downtown Sarasota. The event began more than 35 years ago to honor those who have lost their lives while serving in the armed forces. Musical selections include God Bless America, as well as a mix of jazz and Broadway tunes. There will also be a Civil War reenactment with actors. The concert starts in about an hour and a half at 2 o'clock. Sounds like a great event if you're still wanting to get outdoors and do something. New this afternoon, Memorial Day parades and holiday activities are being canceled in some part of the country because of severe weather. The storm is being blamed for killing at least 2 people over the weekend. ABC's Elizabeth Herr has the latest.
Wet and extreme weather wreaking havoc for millions marking Memorial Day weekend. With at least 4 confirmed tornadoes blowing across Missouri and hail up to 4 inches in diameter pounding southern Oklahoma.
I've never seen hail this big.
In Tennessee, winds gusting more than 70 miles per hour near Memphis toppled trees and power knocked out to at least 200,000 customers.
I thought it was the whole city, honestly. It just looked like everything went dead.
It was all the lights, the power lights were out, trees were falling left and right, driving through that. It was like something out of a movie.
Meanwhile, in Branson, Missouri,
Got a car in the water with people trapped.
authorities say at least 2 people drowned after their car was swept away by a flash flood. The same storm lit up the night skies across the heartland all weekend and is now marching east and up the coast.
It's the damaging wind threat, especially this afternoon and evening from Atlanta right through Columbia, South Carolina, even Raleigh later tonight that we're going to be watching.
And by later tonight, the rain will have ended in Boston, but so many will be cleaning up for days to come, with officials in Memphis saying it could take more than a week to have power fully restored. Elizabeth Herr, ABC News, New York.
We'll talk about a crash landing. Take a look at this. In Australia, a fisherman gets an unexpected catch of his lifetime when a 9-foot great white shark leaps onto his boat. The 73-year-old says he was on his powerboat Saturday when the shark went airborne, slapping him with his fin and landing on the deck. The shark was thrashing and the man says he had to keep him steady and keep his distance until Coast Guard arrived. When the shark hit the fisherman with his fin, it left his right arm bleeding and bruised. He says the incident was totally out of the ordinary, but he's eager to get back in the water. He even jokes by saying he may even find a crocodile to wrestle next time just to stay in the limelight. Perhaps he should come here to Florida if he is looking for a crocodile.
Weird story. I mean, what do you do with that? You know, you look, I mean, you can't talk him into surrendering. So yeah, there he is in the boat, and you got to deal with that.
I know.
That's
how do you
crazy.
How do you get that out? Obviously, you call the Coast Guard.
You call the Coast Guard. I don't know how you.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm
Wow.
glad it all ended out well, though.
Yes.
Maybe not so well for the shark. I'm not sure what the outcome of that was. Warm weather
Yes.
across the Sun Coast.
I was
Very hot.
Stepped outside earlier to go get
Yeah.
some breakfast, and it was only like 8:30, and it was
Already starting
sweltering hot out there.
already starting to get warm. The heat indexes are going to be high today, so that's something everybody has to pay attention to. I know there are going to be lots of outdoor activities today, and just as a cautionary note, particularly in inland areas, it is probably going to end up in the mid-90s east of the interstate. So by all means, stay hydrated today and watch out for fire because the fire danger is still high. UV indexes are also still high. Sarasota Bay webcam put into motion shows those blue skies and high UV indexes along our beaches. Very easy to get sun damage today. All you need to do to prevent that, though, is that SPF 50 or better sunscreen. Frequently reapplied, they tell me. Looking at some scattered showers down to the south, not much elsewhere across the state. A little high cloudiness perhaps from time to time. That's about it. Rain chances are nil, and our daytime high again warm near 90, and at least close to the coastline. Complete forecast details coming up in just a few, Jacqueline.
All right, thank you, John. Looking forward to talking to you shortly. A peaceful demonstration turns violent in Las Vegas. Demonstrators of the Black Lives Movement were protesting the recent death of a man who was killed while in police custody. But it was interrupted after witnesses say a passerby and protester got into a fight. 10 people were arrested, 8 more cited for blocking traffic. A solemn start to the week for a family in Mississippi after 7 of their loved ones are killed in a shooting spree. It happened Saturday night, where deputies say Willie Godbolt was outside the home of his estranged wife, demanding that she give up their 2 children. Sheriff's Deputy William Durr was called to the scene. When he got there, Godbolt pulled out his gun and started shooting. The wife, her sister, and one of the wife's daughters were all killed, as well as Deputy Durr. But the accused shooter says the deputy was not his target and he intended to die in that shootout.
My pain wasn't designed for him. He was just there. Suicide by cop was my intention. I ain't fit to live, not after what I done.
The slain deputy was a 2-year veteran of the Sheriff's Department. Charges are still pending. A follow-up this afternoon on the terrorist attacks in Manchester, England. Another arrest has been made in connection to that deadly concert bombing. Police arrested a 23-year-old man on suspicion of terrorism offenses. He joins the 14 others who are now in custody. The suspects have not been identified or charged. That bombing took place last Monday during an Ariana Grande concert where 22 people were killed, dozens more injured. The bomber died in that attack. Meanwhile, the pop star says she plans to return to Manchester for a benefit concert. Also in Britain, a technology glitch causing delays for travelers for several days. British Airways is facing its 3rd day of delays and cancellations. This comes after the airlines experienced a global system outage on its IT system over the weekend. At least 56 flights have been canceled, 56 more delayed. Sister airlines in Spain, Iberia, has canceled over 300 flights today alone. Most of those flights affected are short-haul routes. The chief executive expects to get operations back up and running today. In California, a fun day at the water park takes a turn for the worst when a boy flies off a water slide. Take a look. The 10-year-old launches down an 80-degree drop on a water slide and straight over the edge onto the concrete, as you can see right there. This incident happened Saturday at the Wave Water Park in Dublin, California. Miraculously, he was able to walk away with just a few scrapes and bruises.
Our thoughts are with the family that had this experience, and we don't certainly want to have that repeated, so we're going to do everything we can to make sure that doesn't happen again.
The 3-story slide was shut down immediately after the incident and remains closed today. According to the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission, more than 4,200 people are taken to the hospital every year from injuries on public water slides. When we come back, a touching story on how 2 families are setting their differences aside. And later, a not-so-pleasant greeting from one little girl towards a Disney princess. Those stories and much more when we come back.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-685-6422, 800-685-6422.
I'm calling in regards about my mother, and I'm here, and I just want to thank you because it saved my mother's life yesterday. And I'd like to know the names of the people that came in and saved her so I could call and thank them. And she's doing fine. It's a wonderful thing. Thank you.
When you fall and cannot get up, an accident can turn into a tragedy. But with Life Alert, one touch of a button can get you help fast. Life Alert saves a person from a catastrophe every 10 minutes.
Life Alert is a lifesaver. If it weren't for Life Alert, I wouldn't be sitting here today.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-962-4112. That's 1-800-962-4112. Call now, 1-800-962-4112. For a free brochure, call 1-800-962-4112.
ABC 7 News at 7 weeknights.
Forecast, well, it's going to be a hot one. You don't need, you can just look at the current conditions and know that. 86 degrees already at this hour with a dew point of 73. Excuse me, west wind comes in at about 12, full sunshine out there. That dew point value of 73 also is a contributor to how hot the air feels today. As the dew point gets higher, the ability of your body to regulate its temperature lessens. And so when you have dew points in the 70s, particularly as you start to approach the mid 70s, the humidity just feels so muggy and thick that the temperature that the air feels like increases. And as we head into the afternoon, we'll approach the 100-degree feels like mark. Yeah, it's going to be warm. Already 91 degrees in Wauchula, Arcadia, and Myakka. We'll probably see mid-90s in these areas today. Closer to the coastline, a little bit cooler thanks to that west wind kind of cooling things down off Gulf waters. It's 89 degrees in Bradenton, 86 in Sarasota, 86 in Venice, 84 in Inglewood, and 82 degrees Longboat Key. You don't have to go very far inland, though, to see these temperatures start to warm. Myakka City's at 91 right now. Northport at 89, almost 90. And Lakewood Ranch at 88 will hit 90 before too terribly long. Nothing in the way of any rain showers today to cool things down. Big dome of sinking high pressure will prevent any rain showers. We do have rain showers back to the west along a frontal boundary that'll be meandering through the center part of the states today. Again, a danger of severe weather exists in the mid-Atlantic, as you just saw in our last story. Plus, these frontal boundaries really not going anywhere. They're kind of locked in place. So as it stalls out to the north of us, it'll be a focal point really for the next several days for showers just to our north. Atlanta Airport seeing one lone shower now. We'll probably see more activity later this afternoon. High pressure for us will eventually kind of scoot out into the Atlantic. As that happens, we get a more southeasterly wind flow. And that's going to do a couple things. One, it's going to make sure our moisture supply remains intact and we'll have plenty of moisture across the region. Also, it will tend to provide a collision zone for our sea breeze front to butt up against as our sea breeze front tries to move inland. As that happens, it becomes the place where showers and thunderstorms build, as anyone who lives in Florida knows. And so consequently, we'll have better rain chances as we develop that southeasterly wind by midweek. Sunny and hot today, dry for several more days till we develop that southeast wind, and then calmer winds around today than over the last several days. Northwest coming in at about 10. That'll bring you a light chop on your bay and inland waters, 2-foot seas. Nice day for boating. We had our low tide rather today. High tide comes in about an hour or two. At Sarasota Bay, it'll be at 2:56. Low tide comes at 11:54 this evening. And the forecast for beach and boating. Well, it's pretty nice, actually. At the beaches, expect a temperature of about 87 degrees this afternoon with a UV index of about 11. And that means 10 minutes or less before you could burn. Most everywhere else along the coastline in Sarasota, Bradenton will have a temperature of about 90 degrees, give or take a degree or two. And we'll look for sunny, hot, dry conditions throughout the day. Now, over the next several days, we'll look for those temperatures to remain warm, but we'll start to trim them back a little bit as we head into the second half of the work week, thanks to a few more showers around. We'll get to about a 50% rain coverage by the time we hit Thursday. Back to you, Jacqueline.
All right, thank you, John. A remarkable story of compassion this Memorial Day as we honor those who lost their lives serving our country. Families on both sides of a deadly conflict have managed to do what many of us cannot. ABC's Maggie Ruley has their story and how they turned the other cheek to find common ground.
This Memorial Day, two sides of the Vietnam War are coming together.
Let's close the past and look towards a brighter future.
Finding common ground through a common grief.
As people, we have the same hearts.
The nonprofit The Two Sides Project connects families who lost loved ones on both sides of the conflict.
I mean, that's how it heals. You just 1% at a time.
After 6 Americans traveled to Vietnam in 2015, this time it was their turn, welcoming 4 Vietnamese to the U.S. for the first time. Standing beside the Vietnam Veterans Memorial,
James C. Mitchell.
They show them where their parents' names are etched. Margot Carlson DeLone started the project.
I hated them.
Her father was a fighter pilot in the war and died when she was just 2 years old.
I think after a while I realized I didn't want to live with hatred anymore.
I became aware as I grew older that my dad's bombs had probably killed a lot of people, and that there was probably a daughter like me on the other side who had lost her dad.
At the memorial, that hatred feels so far away. She says the tears she cries today are those of joy for having brought the two sides together.
This really feels like we're all coming full circle.
The Two Sides Project says they want to continue their mission to heal those affected by the Vietnam War and any future conflict as well. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, Washington.
Coming up, the top 3 movies to make the box office this weekend, and it's a proposal that any Star Wars fan can appreciate. That's next in your entertainment news.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee counties since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
Because my parents told me I have to be responsible.
Because my first coach told me, you can do this.
Because my boss showed me how to do a good job.
Because my teacher helped me see the choices.
I'm swimming faster than I ever dreamed.
I am a valuable employee.
I discovered that I could work as an artist.
I will be whatever I want to be.
Youth with disabilities should grow up expecting to work and succeed. For more information, visit whatcanyoudocampaign.org.
I am a veteran. My victory was finding the strength to be a champion.
My victory is having a job I can be proud of.
At DAV, we help veterans get the benefits they've earned.
My victory was finishing my education.
My victory was getting help to put our lives back together.
DAV provides veterans with a lifetime of support.
My victory is being there for my family.
Help us support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
This is a time-sensitive message from the Back Pain Relief Hotline. Millions of people across the nation are suffering from back pain. Are you? Are you on Medicare? Is it hard to walk, to bend over, or even do simple things? Well, here's great news. If on Medicare, you or a loved one could qualify to receive a pain-relieving, comfortable back brace at little or no cost to you. You'll receive free information, free delivery, and all the Medicare paperwork is handled for free by our accredited suppliers. Best of all, there is little or no cost to you for the back brace. Just call right now to get the details. Just takes a couple of minutes. Our friendly consultants are standing by. Imagine getting out there again, doing all of the things you love to do without back pain. These amazing back braces have helped thousands of people with severe back pain, and you could be eligible to have yours delivered free at little or no cost to you. Our friendly consultants are standing by 24/7 to take your call.
Call 855-388-6551.
We've all heard how military veterans adjusting to the civilian world may have certain issues.
30. 78.
If only everyone had this issue. No matter what challenge they face, Easter Seals is here for America's veterans.
There was this big bruise on my friend's face. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to think her own nephew could have hit her.
I didn't want to see it. My mother's bank account was emptied, and a caregiver had taken control of it.
I didn't want to see it. My father's refrigerator, there was hardly anything in it. That's unusual for him.
It's tough to see that a senior citizen is being abused, physically, emotionally, sexually, or financially. Elder abuse is a crime.
So see the signs, stop the crimes.
Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle.
Dozens of celebrities show up in Washington, D.C. over the weekend to honor our fallen military. A National Memorial Day concert took place in Washington last night. Among the performers were Hamilton star Christopher Jackson and Renee Fleming, who performed with a disabled veteran and his music therapist. The U.S. Joint Chief of Staff also participated. Actors Lawrence Fishburne and Joe Montana hosted the event. And also, fans of Chris Cornell bid the rocker a final farewell over the weekend. The Soundgarden frontman was buried in Hollywood after hanging himself earlier this month at the age of 52. The funeral was private, but public was allowed to mourn at his gravesite. At the box office this weekend, Pirates of the Caribbean: Dead Men Tell No Tales comes out as #1 with a nearly $62 million opening. It's the lowest opening for any Pirates movie except the 2003 original. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 came in second place, and despite a tide of bad reviews, Baywatch managed to finish in third place with an estimated $18 million. We'll take a look at this. A little girl got to meet Snow White during a recent trip to Epcot, but it seemed like she could care less. As the Disney princess tries to talk to her, the little girl is more concerned about eating her mac and cheese and stares ahead. Her parents say she's usually all smiles at Disney, but on this particular day, she was more about that mac and cheese and having none of it. Well, finally this afternoon, a stormtrooper gets down on one knee to pop the big question at the Comic-Con in Phoenix. His stormtrooper love was caught up completely off guard. But in case you didn't catch her nodding her head, she did say yes in full stormtrooper love, as our camera operator mentioned. Stormtrooper love right there.
That's sweet. Those kinds of things are lovely to see, right?
They are.
Special thanks to all those families that had a loved one give up their lives for us and maintaining our freedom. Making the ultimate sacrifice today. We remember all those people, and we thank them.
We certainly do, and definitely a day to remember the purpose of today, not necessarily getting out there and celebrating and having a good time, but remembering that.
But if you are out of doors, please use extra caution. Heat indexes will be high today, and it will be a scorcher, especially inland. Stay hydrated, stay safe.
All right, thank you. Have a great rest of your day.